Ugandans head to the polls on Thursday for a general election. The presidential contest pits incumbent Yoweri Museveni against pop star turned politician Bobi Wine. It's the second time Wine and his NUP party are challenging Museveni, whose government has cracked down on the opposition ahead of the vote. The government has also shut down the internet in a move the UN has described as deeply worrying. We have this report from DW's Sella, Oneko in Kampala.
Uganda's elections are once again being seen as a contest between young and old. Staunch supporters of 81-year-old President Yoweri Museveni say that despite his age and 40 years in power, he deserves another 7th term in office.
We see President Yoweri Museveni is the one who has the potential to lead this country because he's the one who has a vision for this country, and we support him.
Museveni came to power criticizing African leaders who refused to step down. Now, in a country where the average age is 17, many young Ugandan voters want change. Dressed in bulletproofs for his own safety at his rallies, former musician Robert Chagulani, also known as Bobi Wine, is Museveni's main challenger. His main support base, Uganda's young urban voters. The elections have been marked by widespread repression and intimidation against the opposition, says the United Nations Human Rights Office. Bobi Wine's rallies have been tear-gassed and his supporters beaten and arrested.
Dozens of our comrades are missing now. They've been picked up from the houses and we don't know where they've been taken. We continue to encourage them to be vigilant and look out for each other.
Civil society has also been under pressure. Human rights advocates have been arrested, including 2 activists from neighboring Kenya, who upon their release alleged torture at the hands of the military. Prominent opposition politician Kizza Besigye has also been in jail for a year, facing treason charges.
There's a climate of fear that is being spread by the authorities against anyone who speaks out or any government critic. And we are getting reports from our partners on the ground who have decided to even leave the country during the election period.
Museveni is widely expected to win. He and his inner circle control nearly all aspects of the state. Analysts are concerned about the possible repercussions after the elections.
I'm worried about the future of this country in the sense that we have an old president. He's 82 years of age. We are told he's 82. In fact, for me, I don't even wish Museveni sudden death, right? I'm praying for his long life. Because at present, he's the only institution holding Uganda together. There's so many hungry hyenas inside State House, on these streets, who are waiting for that moment that he collapses.
Most young Ugandans have only known one president in their lifetime, and President Museveni has both the state machinery and the security forces behind him. He also has a lot of support in rural areas. So while there may be fierce fighting at the ballot box, we'll have to wait and see what this means for Uganda's political future.
You just saw her in that report. Sella Oneko joins me now. Sella, there's an internet blackout in Uganda. We're very happy you can join us. How is the government justifying shutting off communications ahead of the elections?
Yes, there is an internet shutdown, and there are a few spots in Kampala where one can still get internet, but out on the streets, it's basically impossible. There's no mobile data available. And the government has they came out yesterday evening at 6 o'clock. There were rumors that they were actually going to shut it down, which they had denied. But they came out yesterday at 6 o'clock and said they were shutting it down because they want to stop the spread of misinformation and electoral fraud, and that certain platforms, especially social media, had been used to spread a lot of misinformation and had also partly been used to mimic certain sites. So this was the explanation for shutting down the internet. But of course, it also really stops people from communicating and accessing information that they might need during an election.
Absolutely. And that added to pre-election violence and persecution of the opposition, as we heard in that report. How free and fair are these elections going to be?
Well, that is something we can't yet really know. People are going to the polls tomorrow, and there's a lot of mistrust around whether the elections will be free and fair. So voters are really concerned, and also the opposition specifically are very concerned. And the opposition has even called on people to be near the polling stations and protect the vote, which has caused a huge discussion. And so that is something that we'll see then. But up to now, it hasn't been a level playing field because of the intimidation that's been happening from the state. And so that is, at the moment, it looks like the level field wasn't really, the field wasn't really level.
That was DW correspondent Sella Oneko in Kampala. Thank you so much.